Here's the paradigm that I want you to have. Here's what I want you to consider is that each and every person that you serve becomes an asset to you. Okay. Not in the sense that you're going to get something from them, but that each and every person that you know has a certain amount of value when it comes to the business world, right?
Because the management and transparency is what's very important. So once you submit a referral, you're going to have your own Home Advantage account, and it's going to tell you where everything sits. So if you have 10 referrals that you've sent into the network, it's going to give you all 10 referrals. It's going to tell you every milestone that that client is sitting in, whether they're touring homes, whether they're in escrow. And you now can manage through the Home Advantage application as far as what your pipeline looks like for the referrals that you've sent. And so it's pretty sophisticated, and it's all click of a button, guys.
Happy January. I don't know if you are as excited about this year as I am, but my goodness, it is going to be an incredible year. You know, I was speaking to a live audience last week, and I shared with them, oftentimes you'll hear people, they will say, I hope this year is going to be a good year, right? That's what some people, that's what the average agent says. Boy, I hope 2023 is a good year. In other words, what they're saying is, I hope that 2023 is good to me. Like I hope, in other words, you're kind of this passive person who's waiting for 2023 to do its thing to you, and you hope that it's good, right? That's so subservient to outside circumstances. And the comment that I made that resonated with some agents, again, that I was speaking to in a live audience this past week, was the best agents out there, they don't say, I hope this is going to be a good year, or is this going to be a good year or a bad year? It's going to be a good year. How am I going to do it? Right? It's going to be a great year. What's the unique strategy I'm going to go about this year to make that happen? And when you really don't just say that as lip service, but when you really start to believe that, when you really feel like, you know what, some of the agents who are the most successful right now, they said they got their start. They really business kickstarted 2008, 2009, 2010, when everybody else was like running for cover, right? Everybody else was, boy, all the things that had changed between 2006 and 2008. Again, the best agents don't think that way, you guys. And I invite you to be in the elite crowd of agents that say, you know what? It is not about if, it's how am I going to make this a great year? And today I have some exciting things to share with you. They're super simple, and they're going to really be helpful for you. They're going to help you to really have a different conversation. And I would argue the most important question you can be asking your sphere in January of this year. Again, here in LabCoatAgents, I'm known as kind of the warm referral guy. My job is to help you to scale and grow a warm market business. And so today I'm going to give you a simple question that you can be asking everybody you know that's going to be super comfortable for you. And not only that, but it's going to produce some great results for you. So anyway, for those that are just joining us, welcome. So glad you're here. I am, again, thrilled about 2023. Before I get into that specific question that I want you to ask, I want to change your thinking. I want to change your paradigm as to how you think about your business. I was actually just this morning sitting down with a financial advisor, and he said, tell me, what is it that you do? And I said, well, I coach real estate agents and I coach title reps. And he said, okay, what does that look like? Do you just like hold them accountable? I said, absolutely, there's some accountability. But I said, one of the key things that I do is I help them to think differently. So I'm going to give this to you guys today. I said, most real estate agents, when they think of approaching somebody, whether it be in their sphere or their professional network, they ask themselves the question of, how do I get referrals from these people, right? How do I get my sphere to give me more referrals? Maybe you've said that either in your head or out loud. What can I do to get more referrals? And it's not really about getting. The getting will take care of itself if you worry about the giving. Okay. Now, this isn't just altruistic. Justin's got his head in the clouds and this isn't how the world works. No, this is how the world works for the most successful people, is that rather than saying, what can I get from all the people around me? We say, what can I give to the right people around me? Because you're right. If all you do is give to everybody that crosses your path, now you should be giving everybody a smile, right? There's some things that we should be giving to everybody, some kindness, some compassion, some good energy. But there are some people in the marketplace who have the potential to offer big help to you, right? Now, some of these people are A+ clients. Some of these people are key, what I call upstream partners. In other words, professional partners who are dealing with people who are going to be needing to move in the very near future. Okay. So once you identify those people, you can then rest assured that your whole conversation is going, I know this person can help me. I'm not going to go in asking to get. I'm going to go in looking to give. How can I add value to this person? How can I add value to these people? Okay. So this is a change in mentality for many agents, but they go around saying, where am I going to get my next deal? Where's my next deal going to come from? No, find the right people. And then what you're going to get leaves. We already know you can get. You don't need to ask that. Okay. That turns people off, and authentic people like you will not do that for very long because it starts to feel a little salesy, a little slick, a little, right? And that's not you. What you want to be is genuine, right? Those of us that choose the referral-based business, the referral-based life, choose it because we love to give. We love to add value. And so the first kind of mindset shift I want you to have is be a giver to the right people. In fact, be a giver to everybody, but find the right people and go all in on saying, what can I do for you this year? Okay. Now that's a little bit of a prelude to the question you're going to be asking people, but I'm still working on changing your paradigm. Let me give you a quick story. Actually, I wrote about this in my book, The Upstream Model. And it's this: every year, Berkshire Hathaway, now not the real estate company, but the world-renowned investment company, probably the most successful investment company in history, potentially. For those of you that are familiar with Warren Buffett, right? He sits at the head. He's the CEO of Berkshire Hathaway, and his business partner, Charlie Munger. Now, Charlie Munger is a little less known outside of investment circles, but those two names go hand in hand. And every year in Omaha, Nebraska, they rent out a basketball arena. Okay, I want you to think of this, an entire basketball arena. And they invite their shareholders to come and get an update on what's happening with this massive investment company. Pretty cool, right? Well, at one point during these large conferences, they open it up for Q&A. Now they have it to where it's a little more like you submit your questions in advance. In the past, what they used to do is that they would allow people to come up and grab the mic, right, at different points around this arena, and they would be able to ask a question to, these world-renowned, probably potentially the greatest investors of all time. And one individual stepped up and he said, this question is for Charlie Munger. What is the best investment you've ever made? Pretty interesting, right? Like, well, that's a great question. Has no one ever asked that question before? And Charlie Munger's response came quickly, and it surprised everybody. They assumed that Charlie Munger would speak specifically about a particular business that they invested in, but it wasn't what Charlie Munger spoke about. He said, we invested money with a headhunter company, right? A recruiting company, to find a CEO. I think they invested a couple $100,000. They said that CEO that we invested money into to find, he turned a company around and has made us billions of dollars. In other words, a few $100,000 turned into $1 billion. That was the best investment we ever made. Think about that for a minute. Really interesting that although they're some of the world's most renowned business investors, they spoke about actually the investment of finding the right person. Now, here's the lesson that I want you to learn from this, is that when we look at ourselves as residential real estate agents, we have the potential to think transactionally. In other words, I'm a real estate agent and I step into the picture when you need to buy or sell, and I step out of the picture at closing. And yeah, maybe I'll put you on my drip campaigns, and yeah, maybe I'll kind of do the client event annually just to try and be sure that you don't forget about me. But my real purpose is to serve you when and only when you have a real estate need. Okay, that's a very limited thinking. Okay, that's almost as limited as what can I get from these people, right? Maybe a step up, but not much. Here's the paradigm that I want you to have. Here's what I want you to consider, is that each and every person that you serve becomes an asset to you. Okay, not in the sense that you're going to get something from them, but that each and every person that you know has a certain amount of value when it comes to the business world, right? So think about, maybe you did work for an attorney, right? You sold them a home, they purchased a whatever, right? These people are in your database, okay? Now, what I'm doing is helping you to rethink the way that you see everybody that you know. It's no longer, this is my past client list and I'm going to try and stay in contact with them, but this is my network. These people know me. I know them really, really well. I know where they live. I know why they live there. I know for how long they've lived there. I know how many kids they have. I know where they work. I know approximately how much money they make. Like, you know a lot about people, more than most any other business out there. You just know so much about people. Now, if you look, a really interesting topic here is that in times past, if you look at the most valuable companies in the world, they were oil companies, natural resource companies. Now, the most valuable companies in the world are data companies, right? Apple, Google, Facebook. These companies are valuable because of the data that they have. They've got massive amounts of data on people. Now, you as a residential real estate agent have the ability to also be extremely valuable because you have lots of data on people and you can connect people. Now, why is data so valuable? Well, if Google knows so much about me, people will pay them money to put their ads in front of a guy who buys those kinds of things, right? That's why these companies are so valuable, is because it's all of the data that they have, and they can connect companies and brands in, they can put those things in front of me so that I will buy them, right? So you as a residential real estate agent, because you have so much data on people, you know so much about them, right? You have the ability to really look into this network of people, this database, right? Look into this database of people to say, wow, I really have the ability to help a lot of people because I know all of these individuals, all of these professionals, and I know what they do and what value they bring to the marketplace. Now, side note, if you aren't going deep with your clients, you're missing out. It might be just the fact that, well, I'm thinking transactionally and I'm only going to learn from them what I need to learn from them to get the deal closed. This is limited thinking, right? If we're referral-based professionals who work warm market, we better get to know people a little bit more than that. It doesn't mean that we need to have separate coffee meetings and lunch meetings, although that might not be a bad idea for the right people. But what it does mean is that when you're having conversations with people, be curious. What is it that you do for a living? Tell me, what do you love about that? Tell me, for how long have you done that, right? Just get to know people, keep record of these things. And then again, I'm setting you up for the most important question that you can ask in 2023, but I'm helping you to realize how valuable, like this gold mine that you're sitting on of data. Okay. So as you start to gather this information, now in your head, you're thinking, okay, this person brings some value to the marketplace. Who else in my network would this person benefit in knowing? Right. And every time you're having conversations with clients and you uncover that there's a need or a goal or somewhere that they're headed or some challenge they're facing, you're thinking, who do I know? I'm looking into my database, right? Not just a list of people who I'm hoping that will buy or sell, but they're a group of people on whom I have a lot of information about, that if I connect this person to this person, both people win. And you know who else wins? You win. You win because now your value goes outside of the transaction. Your value is no longer just from the time that you market to these people to the time that you close escrow. No, your value becomes much different. If you want to learn how to be not a commodity in this market and not be compared with any other real estate agent out there, start to think and act like this. It's not a big pivot, guys. It's a big paradigm shift. But when it comes to the tactical, you're simply curious about who people are, what they do outside of buying and selling their home, and how long they've done that, what value they bring, what they're looking for, what would help them to reach their goals in the upcoming year, what are their goals in the upcoming year, all of these things. And then you're looking, who else do I know that might be an interesting connection? How do I help solve problems? How do I help bring value? How do I help speed up somebody's path to success by making introductions? When you start to think and act this way, the people in your network, right, will be so loyal to you because it's no longer you just found them a house. You potentially found them a new business partner. You found them a new opportunity. You solved the problem that they were facing in their business or potentially even in their life. All of a sudden, you become so much more than just a real estate agent. You become a trusted advisor in so much more than just within the confines of that transaction. So let's move now to what is the most important question that you can be asking with all of that information I just shared with you as a backdrop, right? As a backdrop to how you can be thinking and operating at a level that your competitors don't even know exist, okay? The question is quite simple, and it's not verbatim. You put this into your own words, but the question is, hey, This is Justin. Happy New Year to you. I know it's mid-January. I just wanted to reach out really quick. Or happy January. I hope this year's already going really well for you. I've just got one quick question for you that I'm super interested. What can I do to help you in 2023 to reach your goals? Right? It's that simple. What can I do to help you reach your goals in 2023? Right? Different variations of it, but the same concept is that you're not asking to get, you're asking to give. You're saying, again, in 2023, what can I do to help you reach your goals this year? Now they know you're a real estate agent. You don't need to say that. Okay. You don't need to say your goals in real estate, right? Because now all of a sudden you've put yourself right back into the sardine box where all the other agents are sitting dead, right? You can move above and beyond that, move out to blue oceans where nobody else is competing by opening up the question. Opening up the question to say, what is it? What can I do to help you reach your goals in 2023? What are you working on? What's important to you? What can I do to help you? I've got it. In fact, I'd even preface it. You could even preface it by saying this, is that I do my real estate business differently. Maybe you perceive this, maybe not, but I see everybody that I know as a potential connection for other people that I know. And every day I'm meeting some of the coolest people. My business puts me in contact with super cool, super successful, just great people. And I'd love to know what you're trying to accomplish in 2023 so that whether I know them now or whether I meet them in the future, I can make a connection for you that's really valuable. Now, pan back to what I said about Charlie Munger's comment, right? About the value of a one professional. According to the world's greatest investors of all time, they said that the best investment they ever made was in investing to get to a person who blew up their business, helped make them billions of dollars. So you think about that, the potential that you have by simply thinking differently about the people that you serve, thinking differently about the people who are in your network, not just in your database, in your network. And once you know how the answer to this question of, hey, happy 2023, hope January is off to a great start. I would love to know what I can do to help you reach your goals this year. Talk to me about what are you working on? What are you working to accomplish this year? Let them talk. Okay. And if they say, you mean with real estate? Well, I think I'd follow up to say, I mean, if that's part of it, sure, but would love to hear just what else you're working on. What are some professional goals you're working on, right? Find out where people are headed. Once you know, because you know where they're at, right? To some degree, but if you know where they're headed, now you get the opportunity to be an accelerator, right? That's why I love what I do, right? Is that I get to be an accelerator to other people, either help them clarify if they're like, I don't really know. Right? I don't really have any goals. Like, let's talk about that. And then I'd ask this question. Let's fast forward a year from now. It's January 2024 and you're celebrating what happened in 2023. Like, cheers, right? Amazing year. What would cause you to celebrate? What would cause you to feel that way? What would cause you to really be celebrating? Well, let them talk. Great. I appreciate you sharing that with me. I'm honored that you would open up and share that. I want you to know that, again, I have a big network of people and it's constantly growing. And I go deep with people. Like, I really am interested in people and how I can connect them. And if I come across somebody who I think might be a valuable introduction to help you get to where you're going faster, then is it okay if I make that introduction or at least reach out? Yeah, for sure. Right. I mean, who's going to decline that? You just identified what they're wanting to accomplish, where they're headed. And now somebody has taken interest in that, number one. And they've also asked if they can come back and contribute to help you get to where you want to go faster. You guys, this game of business is not that complicated. We overcomplicate it. Why? Because we spend too much time staring at our own navel, too much time worrying about, am I going to have enough? Am I going to have enough? Stop it. I'm serious. Freaking stop it. Stop worrying about you and start getting very concerned about other people and how you can help them get to where they want to go. If you spend your life doing that, a couple things are going to happen. Number one, opportunities are going to abound. You're going to be different. You're going to be more connected, and you're going to have the added value that you need to separate yourself. You'll be in conversations which conversations are always the prelude to conversion of, we want to work with you. Okay. Now, at some point, will there need to be more of a conversation about, let's talk about how real estate impacts that? Yes, of course. But again, we're in January right now, and we're kind of greasing the skids, right? We're getting people, we're getting them aligned with us. We're getting aligned with them. We're getting on the same page to know how we can help them. Okay. Now, the opportunity to circle back to say, hey, I've been thinking about you and where you're headed in 2023. I have somebody I'd like you to meet. It's really hard, especially when you're present on social media, sharing what you do for a living, for people to not see that and not be very interested in the fact that, yes, they're very good at what they do, number one. And number two, they're very good at knowing about me and what we want. That's as important as anything, is that people need to know, number one, that you know what you're doing, right? And number two, they need to know that you care about them, that you know what they're doing, right? And where they're headed. And that's so often the missing link, why real estate becomes so competitive. And oftentimes just the agent that markets the best wins, as opposed to the best agent winning, is because the good agents, they don't really go, they take the strategies, kind of the short-sighted strategies of what can I get? You're a great agent. That's why you're here inside of LabCoatAgents, right? LabCoatAgents is the place to be if you're a great agent. You know that, that's why you're here. And so my invitation to you is to take that to another level, is to be the agent that you know you are. Be more valuable to other people than you want them to be valuable to you. As you do that, number one, again, opportunities are going to abound. And number two, you're going to have so much more gratification and satisfaction in the work that you do, because you're going to feel like all day, every day, you're helping people, as opposed to, crap, I didn't get any deals. Crap, where's my next deal coming from? Again, stop it. Get out of your own way. We get in our own way because we focus on ourselves too much. Go give other people value. Now, again, give the right people value, but give them value that they can't ignore, and everything will change for you. Guys, if I can be of help to you, follow me, friend me on Facebook, right? We're on Facebook already. Maybe if you're watching this on YouTube, find me on Facebook, friend me. I'd love to connect with you, and let me know how else I can help you. Been such a joy to be with you all. Again, the one question you need to be asking people is, it's 2023. What can I do to help you reach your goals this year, right? Some version of that. Where are you headed in 2023? What can I do to help you? What can my network that's ever growing do to help you? I'm really interested in that, right? Don't get caught up in the exact language. Just go be genuine. Get that information from people, look into their eyes, and then deliver value to them. And you'll be amazed at what happens to your 2023. Guys, such a pleasure to be with you all. Again, if it's been valuable, please put in the comments, if you're inside of LabCoatAgents, blow up the comments for me a little bit so that we get more people watching this. I think more and more agents need to see this. They need to feel this. They need to act this way. And our industry will level up. Appreciate you all. Friend me on Facebook. Look forward to connecting. Let's talk soon. Thanks, Jake. Appreciate you, buddy. See you, everybody.